How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another one bar build in Gedonia. Today we're going to be using the sniper armor set, so let's dive in and check out the armor. So here we have pretty much the classic ranger setup. I reckon it looks pretty sick. I really do like the look of this armor set. Just like a ranger, just set up and laying in ambush, waiting for your foes to come in and take them out by surprise. Let's check out the unique bonuses. So for the unique bonuses for this armor set, for 2 pieces of armor, you get evasive move removes cooldown of multi-shot, and that is a big one. So you can just keep stacking up multi-shots with that. If you have all 5 armor pieces, your multi-shot fires 3 more arrows. Careful preparation increases that up to 5 stacks instead of 3. You get a lot more multi-shot, so more AoE damage. And let's check out the rest of the stats. You get a pretty decent boost to accuracy, a great boost to critical strike chance. You get a bit of health, a bit of stamina, also boost to range damage, which is great. More movement speed, which is awesome. You want to keep moving when you're an archer. And you get more attack and cast speed and more crit damage multiplier. With the cloak, we're going to go with King's Cloak, which gives you 7% critical strike chance, so more crit. More crit chance is way better. Massive boost to health, and also 160% range damage bonus. For the other accessories, I went with the Huntsman set. 2 pieces of the Huntsman set. Shooting an arrow spawns a hunting eagle that will attack your enemies and can only spawn once in 60 seconds. But if you have all 4, the eagle can stun and slow enemies down. Stats of the Huntsman set: accuracy bonus, a pretty decent bonus of stamina, and also range damage bonuses. Alright, moving on to the weapon. The weapon that we're going to be using is the chainer. Every arrow has a chance to chain enemies around it, immobilizing them. Chained enemies receive damage over time, and after some time, chained enemies will explode. Now, this gives us 185 damage, pretty damn good. The speed's slow, which is not that good. The damage makes up for it. 90 points to stamina, and also 20% crit damage multiplier. Alright, let's move on to the skills. So starting in ferocity, we just got 10 points in ferocity just for 2% crit chance, and also we also got level 2 critical strike chance, which just increases our critical strike chance by 5%. We also got rage, so every time we shoot an enemy with an arrow, we get 1 stack of rage. That increases melee and range damage by 0.5%. So we just get a little bit more damage when we hit an enemy with an arrow. Next, in combat mastery, we went level 4 rend, which gives us a 20% chance to cause bleeding to an enemy with each attack, and that will deal 20% of our damage every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. Then we went with piercing strike, so we have a 33% chance to inflict the enemy with a debuff. That results in us doing 1% more damage, and that will stack up. And also, piercing strikes level 2 can apply the trauma effect, which reduces their movement and attack speed by 20% for 15 seconds. And then we went with level 1 fencing because we have to get piercing strikes. Next up, in blood magic, we just got 3 points in that, and bloody attacks just for a little bit of health. And with bloody attacks, you won't get hit too much, so I didn't really worry about healing with this build. Each attack or range attack has a basic 10% chance to restore 4% of our health, and that can only happen 20 times per minute. Just a bit of healing. We shouldn't get hit too much. Next up, in archery, we got careful preparation. So our exploding multi-shot and frost arrow now have 5 stacks because of our armor set. Don't just have 3. We have exploding arrow level 3, which is going to be one of our main damage dealers. It can stun all enemies, so this is a good crowd control ability when you pair it up with multi-shot. Next up, we have controllable arrow, which just shoots an arrow that you can control, and it can deal 300% damage. When multi-shot's applied, it can shoot 3 arrows in a row. Very strong attack. Probably want to lead with this attack in every encounter, just so you can get the jump on an enemy. Next up, we have frost arrow. This will just freeze enemies around and slow them down by 75%, 20 seconds. Another crowd control ability. Then we have Rain of Arrows level 3, which will deal 25% of our range damage to all enemies within the radius. And level 3 just increases the radius. And with multi-shot up next, we will shoot 7 arrows instead of 1 in our next shot. And level 2 just decreases the cooldown. A very strong attack indeed. Next up is Focus Multi-Shot. So while Hold Breath is active, Multi-Shot will shoot arrows with lower spread. So it's more concentrated to one target if you're close enough. Next up, we have Evasive Move level 3. So next up, we have Evasive. So first up, it just dodges back and instantly shoots an arrow in front of the player. Level 2 just increases the dodge spread. And then level 3, after you do the first move, you jump backwards and shoot 4 more arrows. So this is good if you're very close up in their face. After a multi-shot, you can just smash an evasive move, and then that will reset your multi-shot as well. You can deal a lot of damage close range with this sniper armor set and get out of trouble. Next up, we have Hold Breath. For 30 seconds, it greatly improves our accuracy and increases our range damage by 150%. You sort of want to keep this on as much as you can, just for that extra 150% range damage. Then, of course, we have the Mastery skill, Master Archer, which just allows us to move while we shoot, and also Archery level 5, which increases our range damage by 70%. Next up, in Defense Tree, we have Survivability level 2, which just increases our health by 60, and also Defense Master, which will increase our total health pool by 30%. Next up, in Banditry, we just got Apply Poison, so it increases the damage of our poisons and the chance that our poisons will be applied to the enemy by 100%, and also Toxic Fumes. This mastery skill, any poisons applied has a chance to spread on enemies around that target. So you just want to put dots on as much enemies as you can. Then in Speech, we just want Pressure level 2, which each time we attack, we have a chance to verbally abuse a target, decreasing their damage, and also Loud Speech. So that can happen to enemies all around the player as well. And then we just have Charm, has a chance for an enemy to stop attacking you for 8 seconds. And the charisma stat affects all of these abilities in the speech tree. Then in talents, we have the stamina bonus level 5. So we get 375 more stamina. Then we have the range damage bonus, which increases our range damage by 250%. All right, so that's all of the skills that we're going to be using. Let's see how they fare against the old Frost Trolls. Here we are at the Frost Troll camp. Alright, so what we want to do is go Hold Breath, multi-shot, nook our arrow, and then we can do the controllable arrow. I might hit this guy. We hit him. Get all of our damage out. You can see we are taking them out pretty damn quick. Even put a frost arrow in there if you want. The magic of this is you want to get close, use evasive. You can deal a ton of damage. Then you just reset your multi-shot. You can push them back as well. Have you got your multi-shot on cooldown? Use evasive. Just keep going like that. Where is this guy? There he is. Reset our shots. Multi-shot up. Just keep pumping them in there. So many stacks of it. It's crazy. Use your evasive. Multi-shot. Exploding arrow. Or whatever arrow's still stacked on it. It doesn't really matter. You're just going to be crowd controlling everything. Controllable arrow in there. But yeah, whenever you have multi-shot on cooldown, you can just reset it with evasive. And then yeah, you just smash them really up close and personal. So yeah, hold breath, multi-shot, and evasive whenever multi-shot is on cooldown. And evasive even works with multi-shot, so that first arrow that you shoot will just do the multi-shot damage. If you have one more stack of multi-shot, just use that and it will just reset it. You can have it close to infinite amount of multi-shots with this build. With this build, it packs a lot of punch, especially to a lot of enemies in a close radius. You will be able to hit enemies so hard with multi-shot and just keep resetting that, which is pretty awesome, and dealing a lot of quick hits in succession with evasive maneuver. And if you apply poison to your weapon, you'll be doing a lot more damage, a lot more AoE in the vicinity as well. The only downsides is pretty squishy, so you've got to try to avoid getting hit. Don't really have that much healing apart from health potions and food, which I suppose isn't too bad, but you're not a melee build that can pretty much life steal off an enemy. All in all, that being said, I reckon this is a pretty good build. It's pretty fun as well. Like I probably mentioned in my other archer builds, I've never really played an archer, only with dash, and that's sort of a hybrid between a rogue with 2 daggers and a bow that I only use for small bursts with bosses. Actually playing with evasive maneuver, I think I might change him up a bit. Like going through all of these abilities, it's pretty crazy. Like there are so many possibilities, and making builds versatile to suit how you play. And let me know what you guys think. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Alright guys, take care.